New witness defying the president. The first transcripts of the impeachment inquiry released. The former Ukraine ambassador who says she felt like the target of a smear campaign threatened by the president. And now a key Rudy Giuliani associate will cooperate with the impeachment investigation. Why he's angry with President Trump.
Deadly ambush. The American family attacked while traveling to a wedding in Mexico. The search for the murderers and those still missing.
Weather whiplash. The Midwest to Northeast bracing for a bitter cold blast. The lowest temperatures and first snowfall of the season. As two storm systems move in, where it could feel below 20 degrees. Ginger tracking the very latest.
Prison break. The manhunt underway for two accused murderers. How they escaped through a hole in the ceiling.
An ABC News exclusive. David Muir taking us deep into the ocean. Getting rare access to a U.S. Navy nuclear-powered submarine.
How many Tomahawks are we sort of standing on right here?
Right now, 7.
Now, a highly classified mission and the warning about Russians in those waters.
Airport chaos. The new taxi and rideshare system turning travel into a nightmare. Passengers waiting for hours just to head home.
Oh, boy. Oh, this ought to be fun here.
And the Black Cat storming the Monday Night Football field, wreaking positive havoc on the Giants game, then making an escape. The search right now for the football feline.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
And Good Morning America, that is a fast cat.
Did its work. It worked. Yeah. The Cowboys, they ended up winning the game against my Giants. Aww. But now the Dallas Morning News, they're calling the Cat the real MVP. I got to agree.
Made it into the end zone. We'll have more on that ahead. But first, we're going to begin with those new developments in the impeachment showdown. Democrats are now releasing the full transcripts of key witnesses' testimonies, including the former ambassador to Ukraine. Mary Bruce has the very latest. Starts us off. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, we are now in a new, more open phase of this impeachment investigation. After weeks of questioning behind closed doors here on the Hill, we are now seeing the first witness transcripts out in the open, and they are painting a turbulent picture of shadow diplomacy. In newly released transcripts, former Ukrainian ambassador Marie Yovanovitch told lawmakers she was the target of a smear campaign run by the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. President Trump Monday tried to distance himself from Yovanovitch.
I'm sure she's a very fine woman. I just don't know much about her.
But on the call with the Ukrainian president that sparked this impeachment inquiry, Trump called Yovanovitch bad news and said she was going to go through some things. I was shocked, Yovanovitch told investigators. Asked if she felt threatened, she replied yes. Yovanovitch told lawmakers at the time she turned to Trump's point person in Ukraine, U.S. Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, for help. His advice, you need to go big or go home. Tweet out there that you support the president. You know, the sorts of things that he likes. You know, praise him or support him. But Yovanovitch refused and was later removed from her post.
And so what does this irregular back channel sanctioned by the president do? It seeks to remove someone fighting corruption in Ukraine.
Michael McKinley, a top aide to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, told lawmakers he tried to convince Pompeo to defend Yovanovitch. But just last month, Pompeo told George those conversations never happened.
I never heard him say a single thing about his concerns with respect to the decision.
So you were never asked to put out
not once, George, did Ambassador McKinley say something to me during that entire time period.
You were never asked to put out a statement in support of Ambassador Yovanovitch?
George, again, I'm not going to talk about private conversations that I had with my most trusted advisors.
But McKinley's testimony contradicts the secretary, saying he raised concerns with Pompeo 3 times. McKinley resigned in protest. Now, today, the releases will continue. Later, we will see 2 more witness transcripts, including Ambassador Sondland and the former special envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker. And of course, George, we are still expecting open hearings to begin sometime soon.
And Mary, that Rudy Giuliani associate, Lev Parnas, who was actually indicted last month, now signaling he's going to comply with congressional subpoenas.
Yet George, Lev Parnas initially refused to speak with investigators, but now his new lawyer tells us he is willing to comply with the subpoena. It comes after President Trump insisted that he did not know Lev Parnas. That apparently did not go over well. His lawyer telling the New York Times, quote, Mr. Parnas was very upset by President Trump's plainly false statement that he did not know him. And now George, Lev Parnas is ready to testify.
We'll see how that plays out. Okay, Mary, thanks very much. All this comes as our latest poll with the Washington Post shows the top Democratic contenders extending their leads over President Trump. If the election were held today, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders beat the president by 17 points, Elizabeth Warren by 15. All have increased their lead since July, with Sanders and Warren's making the biggest gains. Other warning signs for the president: 6 in 10 Americans say he's not honest and trustworthy, that he lacks the right personality and temperament for the job, and doesn't understand their problems. It is Election Day also this year, with key races in 4 states. President Trump is campaigning hard to try to keep the governor's seats in Mississippi and Kentucky for the GOP. And our Lindsay Davis is in Louisville, where the president held a rally last night. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning to you, George. It is a cold and wet morning here in Louisville, but still, as you can see, a steady stream of voters coming in here today. People know that this is a tight race for the governor's office, that there are a lot of eyeballs on what happens here in Kentucky, and certainly a lot at stake. So in one corner, you have the Republican incumbent Matt Bevin against his challenger, the Democratic Attorney General, Andy Beshear. Now, many see that the ballots being cast here is going way beyond Kentucky politics. Bevin, who is among the most unpopular governors, has really tried to align himself with President Trump and has signaled that a vote for Bevin is a vote against the impeachment of Trump. Of course, Kentucky is largely considered to be a red state. President Trump won the election here by 30 points, but Beshear has a history here as well. His father was a 2-term Democratic governor who preceded Bevin, and Beshear is trying to focus locally, specifically on education and health care, 2 issues where Bevin has alienated many voters. And it's also a bit of a bellwether as far as Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's own reelection campaign for next year. A Democratic victory here in Kentucky could be seen as a big sign of trouble, not just for McConnell, but for the Republican Party at large in 2020, George.
Right, Lindsay. And while you were talking, Democrats are also on the move in Virginia, and the president sent out a tweet telling voters in Virginia to vote Republican. Thanks very much for that. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. We're going to turn now to the urgent manhunt for the murderers of an American family traveling to a wedding in Mexico when they were ambushed on the way. Eva Pilgrim has breaking new details in this tragic story. Good morning, Eva.
It's just an awful story. The details are still coming in this morning, but we've spoken to relatives who tell us their family was attacked, kidnapped, and killed on their way to that wedding.
At least 3 women and 6 children were killed during an ambush in northern Mexico, less than 100 miles from the U.S. border.
Someone came upon the vehicle, one of the vehicles was burning, and discovered that it was my brother's Suburban.
13 others remain missing. The Associated Press obtained this video, which it says shows a burned out vehicle that may belong to the family killed in the attack. Relatives say one of the burned out SUVs contained the remains of a woman and her 4 children. The family members, who were on their way to a wedding, are part of a religious settlement in the Sonora state, a section of northern Mexico known for its drug violence and the dominant Sinaloa cartel.
It's been pretty violent down there. I just want people to know out here how bad it's gotten.
According to Mexican officials, security forces reinforced with National Guard, Army, and state police troops are investigating the killings, which the family believes could be a case of mistaken identity.
We were always told if you're not in the mafia, you'll be safe. They won't hurt you. They won't bother you. After this incident, I know that that is not true. 3
SUVs set out from La Mora, about 70 miles south of Douglas, Arizona, as the convoy came under fire. Some of the children managed to escape.
The oldest, who was 13, he hid the rest of the kids behind a tree on the side of the road and walked back to our community to get help.
Just awful. The governor of Sonora tweeting, "I don't know what kind of monsters dare to hurt women and children. As governor, I will do everything to make sure this does not go unpunished and those responsible pay." This morning, it's still unclear what motivated this attack.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah, just awful story this morning.
All right. Thank you so much, Eva, for that. And now we're going to turn to that weather whiplash. After record heat, the coldest temperatures of the season and possible snow are on the way for millions from the Midwest to the Northeast. Ginger's doing what she's doing best. She's tracking the very latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Michael. Two storms and a cold snap. From the Wisconsin Dells back through Austin, Minnesota, there's this area that's going to get snow tonight through early tomorrow. So let's spotlight Wisconsin because they're going to take kind of the brunt of it here, especially southern Wisconsin. We put the streamlines, which represent where that low pressure system, where the winds at the surface will be. And you see that, how it wraps up right into La Crosse, into that bend. Well, that's going to be by tomorrow morning. The winter weather advisory means that if you were traveling through southern Wisconsin or kind of central there, Madison or Milwaukee, you're going to end up with the potential for 2 to 4 inches of snow going into early tomorrow morning. So it's really kind of an overnight deal. Interstate 94 and 90 are going to be a little bit slick. But that's just storm 1. I've got to show you storm 2, which could bring some flooding to the Ozarks down from Arkansas and Oklahoma right to the northeast, where it's going to meet that super cold air, Robin, and bring us some flakes of snow, especially interior New England and western New York.
On the watch out. Okay, thank you, Ginger. Now to a terror arrest in Colorado. The FBI taking a 27-year-old into custody, accusing him of plotting to bomb a synagogue. The FBI saying he admitted planning the attack as part of what he called, quote, a racial holy war. Clayton Sandell is at that synagogue in Colorado with the latest. Good morning, Clayton.
Hey, good morning to you, Robin. Temple Emmanuel is the second oldest synagogue here in Colorado, built in 1900, now at the center of a domestic terrorism plot. Authorities say a suspected white supremacist, 27-year-old Richard Holzer, caught the attention of the FBI after using multiple Facebook accounts to spread his hatred of Jews and his desire to blow up this synagogue. Now, on Friday, undercover agents say they provided the suspect with replica pipe bombs and dynamite. They were harmless, but the FBI says his intentions were real. Holzer is now in custody, charged with a hate crime, and could face 20 years in federal prison. As for this synagogue, they say nowadays they have to take security very seriously, and they are quite grateful that this was stopped before it went too far. George?
Thank goodness that happened. Okay, Clayton, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to a battle brewing over a new book taking on President Trump. The author is anonymous, the senior official who described the resistance inside the administration in a New York Times essay last year, and the book, titled A Warning, is due out later this month. But the Justice Department has now sent a warning of its own to the book's publisher. Our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, has the story. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. That's right. The Department of Justice has written the publisher of this book and the author's agents demanding that they turn over information that could reveal who this, quote, senior administration official is. As you say, last year this official wrote that article in the New York Times painting a devastating portrait of the president, claiming to be a member of the resistance at the top levels inside the administration. Trump was enraged. He called that treason. And so the Justice Department letter yesterday says, we request that you immediately provide us with your representations that the author did not sign any non-disclosure agreement and that the author did not have access to any classified information. That information obviously could reveal this person's identity. The book's publisher, Hachette, says that they will stand by their agreement to keep the confidentiality of this author. So stay tuned on this. This could end up in court.
Stay tuned also, Terry, on that fight over the president's tax returns now may be heading to the Supreme Court after a key court ruling yesterday.
That's right. The Manhattan District Attorney wants the president's tax returns. So he issued a subpoena, not to the president himself, but to the president's personal accountants. The president objected, and the federal appeals court yesterday rejected the president's argument, saying that not even presidents have the power to block a subpoena to a third party from a grand jury. So the president is going to take this to the Supreme Court. It looks like 2 other presidents have tried to get out of legal processes in the Supreme Court. Richard Nixon, Bill Clinton. They both lost. It could be 0 for 3 for presidents if the president takes this to the Supreme Court.
Terry Moran, thanks very much. Michael?
Now to the urgent manhunt underway for 2 murder suspects who broke out of a California jail. Authorities now revealing how they managed to exploit a blind spot in jail security to escape. Will Carr has the latest.
This morning, an all-out manhunt in Northern California after 2 men accused of murder shimmied through that 22-inch hole in the ceiling of a bathroom inside this high-security jail.
I just want to impress upon everybody, this is an active search for these 2 very dangerous individuals.
Authorities say Santos Samuel Fonseca and Jonathan Salazar, with that P tattoo on his upper right cheek, 2 opposing gang members, teamed up after they found a blind spot in the room, cutting the hole themselves, then sneaking through an 11-inch crawl space, bypassing pipes, totally undetected inside the jail walls. Eventually, they kicked open this panel door. You can even see a footprint in the corner.
We have the construction going on And unfortunately, the hatch that it got through opened up into an area that was covered by construction fencing, not security fencing, not the Constantine wire, the barbed wire that most people know about.
Using that security lapse, the two men escaped, shedding their jail clothes just outside the fencing. Both were set to face trial next year.
So we know the two suspects did not make it over this razor wire fence. Instead, they exploited that loophole, making it through this construction fence. This morning, authorities want to know if they had any help. Robin.
Hopefully they'll be caught soon. Well, thank you. Now to the travel nightmare that is unfolding at airports, and it has nothing to do with planes. New rules for rideshare and taxi pickups are leaving passengers waiting potentially hours to get home, something Matt Gutman saw firsthand at LAX, and he has the latest.
Long lines at the airport are nothing new, but here at LAX, these weary travelers aren't waiting to board a plane. They're just trying to get out of the parking lot. LAX recently rolled out a new pickup system which funnels taxi and rideshare passengers from the terminals to an external parking lot, appropriately named LA Exit. The idea was to streamline the process as the airport undergoes construction. The result? Chaos. Many venting on social media.
Pretty terrible. Logistically, it takes up so much time and people are confused.
Some passengers claim to have waited in line for upwards of 3 hours trying to catch their ride.
In the good old days, this is where you pick up your Uber, but no more. Now, LAX shuttle.
So I jumped on board myself to see what travelers here are up against. And trekking through the lot, I found more than just taxis and ride shares.
And look at this, they're food trucks here. This is not peak time. This should be the quietest, most mellow time of day, but it's not.
The wait just as long as it looked.
Now it's about 15 minutes since I hit the rideshare number. It's been 23 minutes, 27 minutes, and we're almost at the end of the line. Have you been waiting a long time?
Airports around the U.S. are rolling out similar plans, including Boston's Logan Airport, where it's actually been an easier transition.
I like it better. I would say more control.
Learning from the past 2 days, LAX executive Michael Christensen says starting this morning, they're changing traffic patterns and creating new lots for certain ride shares.
The traffic in and around LAX has always been challenging. We've made some pretty big changes here, and those changes are taking some adjustments.
Now, they hope that lot expansion happens tomorrow. When they expand the lot, that means they can funnel more cars in here and hopefully load fares more quickly. Now, yesterday in this area about the size of a football field, they had 25,000 cars, and more waiting also means higher fares. My fare yesterday was about 40% more expensive. Wow. Guys.
Wow. Okay, that is something out there. Thanks, Matt. We are following a lot of other stories this morning, including a murder mystery. A New Hampshire couple was found buried on a popular tourist beach, and now new surveillance video shows two possible suspects behind the wheel of their RV.
And the alarming new discovery about those voice-activated digital assistants like Siri and Alexa, the simple way they can be hacked. But first, let's go back to Ginger.
So more than 30 cities had their warmest October on record, including Savannah, Georgia. And now this. By this weekend, Saturday morning wind chills going to be in the 20s and 30s in the southeast. Look at Nashville, sub-freezing. It'll feel like 19 in Chicago and about 20 here in New York City. Now, this is just the first cold blast. Wait till you see what's coming next week. I don't have time, and you don't want to see it yet, I promise. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the Tuesday trivia is sponsored by Walmart.
Hey, babe.
Oh, yes. So that just leaves Mother Rose.
Hardest for last. You're kidding. For Mother Rose?
It's perfect. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Another one for Mother Rose?
Yep, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
More clouds today. Can't rule out a sprinkle or two, but it is going to feel nice. Your warmest day out of the next 7, maybe out of the next 10. From the 40s to the 50s late morning, 60s most of the afternoon. Again, more clouds coming in with the next weather front. But the next significant chance of any rain will be Thursday evening. We're up to 60 degrees. And then cold, blustery conditions for Friday behind that front, 46, but with wind chills in the 30s and the coldest air of the season by Saturday morning with widespread frost possible.
We have a lot more coming up this Tuesday morning. Stay with us.
This is Loma Linda, a place with one of the highest life expectancies in the country.
You see so many people walking around here, and they're hundreds.
So how do you stay financially well for all those extra years?
Well, you have to start planning as early